Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. The NFL rumor mill is really heating up, and what we're hearing from Diana Rossini is nothing short of electrifying. Word is that the Indianapolis Colts, currently sitting at an 8-4 record but facing some serious salary cap constraints, around $12 million, are making a bold move. The Colts are reportedly considering trading their All-Pro guard, Quentin Nelson, a player who's been a cornerstone of their offensive line for years. And get this, in exchange, they want a first-round pick in the 2026 draft and a second-round pick in 2027 from the Washington Commanders. Now, this isn't just a simple swap. It's a strategic move that could reshape the entire landscape of the NFC South and the AFC South, depending on where Nelson ends up. Now, why would the Colts be so eager to part ways with Nelson, especially considering how dominant he's been? Well, there are a lot of factors at play. Indianapolis is trying to push into the playoffs, but their offensive line has been a concern this season. Nelson, at 29 years old, is widely regarded as one of the best guards in the league, if not the best. His career PFF overall grade sits at an impressive 92.3, which puts him in the top tier among interior offensive linemen. His run-blocking grade is even more remarkable, sitting at 96.8, the highest since 2018. This guy is a bulldozer, a true anchor in the trenches, and his presence is a game-changer. And let's not forget his durability. Nelson has played 12 games in 2025 with a solid 94.5 overall grade, only allowing 1-2 sacks and maintaining an 88.2 pass-blocking grade. He's been largely healthy, with only a minor ankle injury in 2022. His performance against elite defensive tackles is elite. He's got a 75% win rate against top-tier interior defenders, which is no small feat. According to PFF, Nelson is ranked as the #1 anchor in the league, and projections suggest that his presence on the field could increase running back yards per carry by around 15%. Basically, he makes everyone around him better. From the Colts' perspective, this move is a little bit of a gamble. They're focusing heavily on their passing game, which currently averages about 29.8 points per game, but they're struggling on third down, converting only 47%. Their run game has taken a hit, dropping from a top 5 unit to around 18th in the league without Nelson protecting the interior. That's a significant decline, especially when the team is also trying to preserve the health of Jonathan Taylor, who's been a key part of their offense with over 100 rushing yards. The Colts are all about pushing for a playoff spot and maybe making a deep run, but losing Nelson could hurt their ground game and overall stability. Meanwhile, the Washington Commanders, sitting at 3-9 with long odds, around plus 20-0 to make the playoffs, are eyeing this opportunity with a strategic mindset. They've been trying to develop their offensive line, and adding a player of Nelson's caliber could be a game-changer for their entire offense. Sam Howell, the young quarterback, has shown flashes of potential, but his development is still a work in progress. Improving the protection around him is crucial, and Nelson could be the perfect piece to solidify the trenches. His addition could lead to a significant jump in pass protection, with projections indicating a 25% increase in pocket time for Howell. That extra time could translate into more explosive plays and better decision-making under pressure. And it's not just about pass protection. The Commanders' rushing attack could also see a boost. Brian Robinson Jr., who's been a reliable workhorse, could benefit from the improved blocking. His yards after contact could increase by about 18%, going from an average of 4.2 yards per carry to closer to 5.0 yards. That's the kind of upgrade that can turn a struggling offense into a more balanced, dangerous unit. Plus, the overall run-blocking efficiency should see a significant uptick, helping Washington stay ahead on the chains and keep defenses honest. What's interesting is how Nelson's presence could influence the entire division. The NFC East has been a brutal, competitive battleground, with the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants all vying for supremacy. If Washington manages to fortify their offensive line with a player of Nelson's caliber, they instantly become more formidable in the trenches. His ability to neutralize double teams, he's a 95% matchup against double teams, means he can be a game winner in those critical moments, especially against divisional rivals like the Cowboys. Imagine him anchoring the line in crucial third downs or sealing the edge for a Robinson run. Those are the plays that can swing games and ultimately seasons. Looking back at the recent trade deadline, we saw several impactful moves involving offensive linemen, but a trade like this would be a franchise-altering move for Washington. It's a bold statement that the team is serious about competing not just this year, but for years to come. The Commanders have been building through the draft and free agency, but adding a proven, elite interior lineman like Nelson would send a clear message across the league. They're here to contend, to establish a dominant trench presence, and to build a legacy that lasts. Now, of course, there are questions. Will the Colts really trade Nelson? They've expressed skepticism post-trade rumors, but with their current cap situation and the need to rebuild the offensive line around their young quarterback, they might see this as the best route forward. The trade would not only provide Indianapolis with a much-needed draft capital boost, but also allow them to focus on developing other young talents on their line and skill positions. For Washington, this is a golden opportunity to strike while the iron is hot, to grab a player who can instantly elevate their line and, consequently, their entire offense. The impact on the NFC East and the playoff picture could be huge. A stronger Commanders' offensive line means less pressure on Howell, more running lanes for Robinson, and a more effective passing attack overall. It could shift the power dynamics within the division, making Washington a more serious contender, especially if they can leverage Nelson's elite blocking skills to produce more explosive plays and reduce turnovers caused by pressure. The NFC playoff race is tight, and a move like this could be the difference between falling short and making a deep postseason run. Looking ahead, the 2025 season has already been filled with surprises, but the potential acquisition of Quentin Nelson takes the cake. It's a move that could go down in franchise history if it pans out as many expect. The Commanders are at a pivotal point, not just trying to make the playoffs, but aiming for sustained excellence. Nelson's addition could be a cornerstone of their offensive line for years to come, making them a nightmare for defenses and a team feared by rivals. In terms of how this would shape the team's future, it's about more than just one player. It's about instilling a culture of toughness and resilience in the trenches. Nelson's leadership and consistent performance set the tone for the entire offensive line and beyond. For the fans, it's an exciting prospect. Imagine watching the Commanders dominate on both sides of the ball, controlling the clock, and shutting down opponents in the trenches. It's a vision of a team that's not just trying to sneak into the playoffs, but is built to compete at the highest levels, with the goal of bringing another Super Bowl trophy to DC, of course. This move would also send a message to the rest of the league. Washington is committed to building a winning culture, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. It's a statement that they're not just content with being a middle-of-the-road team, but are serious about contending for division titles and championships. The NFC East is one of the most competitive divisions in football, and adding a player like Nelson could tip the scales in their favor, allowing them to match up better against the Cowboys' pass rush and the Eagles' defensive line. And let's not forget the fans. The excitement that surrounds a potential trade of this magnitude is contagious. Imagine the buzz around FedEx Field if Nelson arrives in Washington, talks of playoff hopes reigniting, the belief that the team is turning a corner, and a renewed sense of pride in their squad. The city of Washington, D.C. has a rich football history, and this move could help reignite that passion, bringing back the days of dominant trenches and postseason glory. In conclusion, the potential trade of Quentin Nelson from the Colts to the Commanders is more than just a rumor. It's a game changer. It signifies a team ready to make a statement, to invest in their future, and to compete at the highest level. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. If Washington manages to land Nelson, the NFC East and the entire league will be watching closely. This could be the move that sets the stage for a new era of dominance for the Commanders, propelling them towards the heights of NFL greatness. The future looks bright, and the trenches are about to get even more intense with Nelson in the fold. Fans should be excited because this could be the beginning of something truly special. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you believe Nelson will end up in DC? transforming our offensive line and elevating the entire team. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and insights, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This is an exciting time for the franchise, and the future is looking brighter than ever. Let's keep the passion alive and continue building that winning culture. Thanks for riding along, and as always, go Commanders.